The planet Aurelian was a place of shining towers, silent skies, and a palace so large that its shadow covered half the capital. Inside this palace lived the Empress, a ruler feared across many star systems. Her voice could command armies. Her anger could destroy nations. But today she stood in silence, watching something that even she could not control. On a floating crystal bed lay her creature, a being made of light, scales, and soft white fur. It breathed slowly, each breath weaker than the last. Its glow had faded. Its heartbeat was faint. And for the first time in many years, the Empress felt fear. 4 alien healers stood around the creature, shaking their heads. "It is dying, Empress," the chief healer whispered. "Its life energy is breaking. We have tried everything." The Empress' silver eyes darkened. She stepped closer, touching the creature's head. "You protected me for many years," she said quietly. "I will not let you die." The creature did not respond. It was slipping away. Outside the palace walls, an alarm suddenly rang through the city. The Empress looked up sharply. A guard rushed in and knelt. "Empress, a ship has crashed near the barrier wall." "Whose ship?" she demanded. The guard hesitated. "A human ship." For a moment, the entire room fell silent. Humans were forbidden on Aurelian. The Empress had banned them many years ago. They were considered dangerous, unpredictable, and a threat to her power. "Bring the survivor to me," she ordered coldly. The guards left immediately. The healers exchanged nervous glances. A human inside the palace was unheard of. Yet the Empress showed no emotion as she turned back to her creature. Its glow flickered like a dying candle. Minutes later, heavy footsteps echoed through the grand hall. 2 armored guards entered, holding a young man by his arms. He was bruised, dusty, and confused. His dark hair was messy, and his clothes were torn from the crash. "Name?" the Empress demanded. "Evan Reed," the human replied, breathing hard. "I mean no harm. My ship malfunctioned. I didn't plan to land here." The Empress stared at him with cold eyes. "You are a human. That itself is a crime." Evan swallowed. "I didn't choose this." The Empress took 1 step forward. "I should kill you." But at that very moment, a faint sound came from behind her. A weak cry. The creature He was trying to lift its head. It looked toward Evan. The Empress froze. The healers gasped. The creature had not moved in days. Yet now, as Evan stood in the room, its body glowed very softly, like a spark returning to life. Why? Why is it reacting to him? A healer whispered. Evan looked confused. "What is that thing?" The Empress ignored his question. She studied him carefully, her mind racing. The creature's glow grew slightly brighter every time Evan took a step forward. The Empress' voice softened, but only a little. "You, human, come closer." Evan hesitated. "Will you kill me if I do?" "That depends on what happens next," she replied. With slow steps, Evan walked toward the crystal bed. The creature reached out a trembling paw, something it had not done in months. Evan knelt beside it. "Hey, it's okay. I'm not here to hurt you." The creature relaxed. Its breathing steadied just a little. The healers looked stunned. "Empress." "He is stabilizing it," one whispered. "We have never seen this reaction." The Empress did not move. She was thinking deeply. Could the old prophecy be true? Could a human really save her creature's life? "Human," she said, her voice lower now, "you will attempt to heal my creature." Evan blinked. "Heal it? I'm an engineer, not a doctor." "You will try," she said sharply. "If you succeed, you live. If you fail—" Her eyes flashed dangerously. "You will not leave this palace alive." Evan's heart pounded. He looked at the creature's fading glow. Something inside him stirred pity, fear, and a strange, unexplainable connection. "Fine," he said quietly. "I'll do what I can." The Empress stepped back, her long cloak flowing like liquid shadow. She watched Evan with unreadable eyes as he carefully studied the creature's breathing, heartbeat, and energy lines across its skin. "It's scared," Evan murmured. "It's not a monster. It's just hurting." The Empress felt a strange twist in her chest. No one had ever spoken of the creature with such softness. Minutes passed. Slowly, the creature's glow brightened. Not much, just barely, but enough for the healers to whisper in shock. "It is responding to the human," the chief healer said. "This has never happened." The Empress folded her arms. "Interesting." Suddenly, the creature opened its eyes fully clear, glowing, intelligent. Evan gasped. The creature was staring straight at him. Then with a weak, trembling voice. It spoke a single word: "Help." Evan froze. The Empress stepped forward in disbelief. No alien creature had ever spoken a human word. Something impossible had just happened. The Empress whispered, How does it know your language?" Evan looked at her, shocked and shaken. "I think we're both about to find out." The Empress had seen countless strange things in her long life, but nothing compared to what she had just witnessed. Her dying creature, silent for months, had spoken a human word. Not an alien sound. Not a random noise. A clear, soft help. And the word had been spoken the moment Evan read came close. The Empress stared at Evan, her expression icy but shaken inside. "You will explain this," she said. Evan raised his hands slightly. "I swear I don't know anything. I've never seen that creature before today." The creature weakly reached toward Evan again, as if wanting him to stay close. The healers exchanged frightened looks. One healer whispered, "Empress, we fear the creature's energy is binding to him." Another added, "This could be dangerous. Humans should not be allowed near such beings." The Empress silenced them with a single glare. She stepped toward Evan until she stood right in front of him. Her silver eyes were sharp, cold, and full of suspicion. "You will stay here," she said. "If this creature reacts to you again, I must understand why." Evan swallowed nervously. "I didn't plan any of this." "Humans never plan anything," she replied slowly. "They simply cause chaos wherever they go." Evan almost argued back, but the creature let out a painful whimper. He moved closer on instinct, and immediately its energy pulse steadied. The Empress noticed it. Her voice dropped lower. "There. Again. It responds only to you." Evan looked at the creature's glowing skin. "Maybe it feels safe with me?" "No," the Empress said immediately. "My creature trusts no one but me." But her voice lacked confidence. She had seen it with her own eyes. The creature pulled away from everyone, except Evan. The palace guards dragged Evan through the corridors toward the creature's private chamber. He wasn't locked in a cell. Instead, he was placed under close guard inside the large, glowing room where the creature rested. The Empress herself entered a few minutes later. She circled Evan slowly like a predator studying its prey. "Tell me the truth. Why does my creature speak your language?" "I told you, I don't know," Evan insisted. "Maybe it heard English before? Or someone taught it." The Empress shook her head. "Impossible. This creature has never left my palace." Evan frowned. "Then how—" "Enough," she cut him off. "You will work. You will observe it. And you will not try to escape." "Escape?" Evan laughed bitterly. "Where would I even go?" She did not answer. Instead, she pointed at the creature. Its breathing was getting rough again, its glow dimming. "You said it's scared," she said quietly. "Explain." Evan knelt beside the creature again. His hand hovered over its fur, unsure if touching it would offend the Empress. The creature leaned into his hand, choosing for him. It's warm, Evan whispered, but its heart is beating too fast, like it's afraid of losing something. The Empress watched every movement with sharp interest. You can sense its emotions? Anyone can, Evan replied. It's alive, and it's hurting. The Empress stood still for a long moment. She said nothing. Then she turned away and spoke to the healers. Leave us. The healers bowed and exited. Their faces worried. Now, the Empress and Evan were alone with the creature. Evan looked up at her. Why hide them? Because you will answer without fear, she said. And because what I am about to tell you can never leave this room. Evan sat up straighter. And what's that? The Empress looked down at the creature. I created it, she said softly. Long ago. With ancient science? From a war that your people do not even remember. Evan blinked. Created, you mean? From nothing? Not nothing, she corrected. From a destroyed battlefield. From remains. Evan stared at her in shock. Are you saying this creature has human DNA? The Empress did not answer. Her silence was the answer. Evan's world spun. The creature, hearing the tension, weakly tried to speak again. Its mouth moved, but only a small sound escaped. The Empress narrowed her eyes. It knows you, somehow, and it is dying. Evan looked at her, suddenly feeling angry. Then help it. Don't argue with me, do something. The Empress stepped close, her cloak brushing the floor like dark fire. You are bold for someone who should be executed, she whispered. Evan didn't back down. Then kill me later. Right now, help your creature. For the first time, the Empress seemed uncertain. Her voice dropped. No medicine works. No healer understands it. I have tried everything. Not everything, Evan said quietly. You haven't tried me. The Empress studied him, his face, his eyes, his trembling hands. Finally, she spoke. You will attempt to heal it, she said. And I will allow you access to the ancient lab. Evan nodded, though fear twisted in his stomach. But listen carefully. Human, she added. If you betray me, if you lie, or if you harm my creature, even by accident, her voice turned to ice, I will end your life before your next heartbeat. Evan exhaled shakily. Then let's hope I don't make any mistakes. The Empress turned away. Begin, human. Figure out why my creature called for you. But before Evan moved, the creature suddenly pressed its forehead against his hand. Its eyes glowed brighter, showing trust. And then a whisper escaped its mouth again. A new word. Stay. The Empress' expression changed completely. Shock, fear, confusion. Creatures like this did not bond with anyone. Not even her. But it had chosen a human, and nothing in her empire would ever be the same again. The room went silent. Even the air seemed to freeze. The Empress stood completely still, her silver eyes wide with disbelief. Her creature, her loyal guardian, her most trusted companion, had spoken again, and both times the words were in English, a language no Aurelian creature should know. Impossible, she whispered. It cannot speak. It has never spoken. Not in any tongue. Not even mine. Evan placed a steady hand on the creature's fur. It's speaking because it wants to. The Empress snapped her head toward him. Creatures respond to commands, not desire. This one is different, Evan said softly. The creature gave a weak chirp, pressing closer to his hand. Its energy lines glowed faintly, like tiny blue rivers running under its skin. The Empress took a small step forward, her posture tense. You will tell me, human. What are you doing to it? Evan shook his head. Nothing. It's acting on its own. She did not look convinced. A few minutes later, the Empress ordered the guards and healers to return. Prepare the ancient lab, she commanded. The guards bowed and hurried out, leaving Evan and the Empress alone with the creature once more. As the room emptied, the Empress turned slowly toward Evan. Her voice was low. Controlled. Dangerous. You spoke earlier, she said. You suggested my creature contains human DNA. Evan nodded. Yeah, the way it responds to me. The English words. It looks and behaves like a hybrid. Some parts alien, some parts human. The Empress' jaw tightened. You know too much. I'm guessing, Evan replied. You're the one hiding the truth. Her eyes flashed. You dare accuse me? I dare because your creature is dying. Evan snapped. And you're wasting time. The Empress moved toward him like a shadow sliding across the floor. Choose your next words carefully, human. Evan didn't back down. You want it to live, right? Then stop threatening me and start telling me what it really is. The creature whimpered, as if begging them not to fight. Silence spread through the room, and very slowly, the Empress turned her gaze away. You want the truth? She whispered. Fine, but know this, if you repeat any of this to anyone, I will erase your existence. Evan swallowed. Just tell me. She stood near the creature's bed, touching its dim fur gently. A war happened long before your parents, or your grandparents, or even your planet's first colonies, she began. A war between humans and my ancestors. A brutal war. A war your history books erased. Evan stared. A war between humans and your people? That's impossible. Humans weren't even in deep space yet. Your history lies, she said sharply. Your leaders hid the truth to protect your species from fear. Evan fell silent. She continued, voice lower now. My ancestors defeated the last human warriors. Their bodies were destroyed, their technology buried. Her hand paused on the creature, but one thing remained. A long pause. A fragment, she said. A tiny piece of human life. A single cell, preserved inside ancient armor. Evan felt a chill crawl across his skin. You used it, he whispered. You used human DNA to create this creature. The Empress closed her eyes. Yes. Evan stepped back in shock. You mixed human DNA with alien energy biology? That's forbidden, she finished. Illegal. Dangerous. And if the galaxy ever learned of it, I would lose my throne. And my life. Evan stared at the creature with new understanding. That's why it knows English, he said quietly. That's why it reacts to me. It's part human. The creature lifted its head weakly, looking at him as if confirming his words. The Empress moved closer, her voice trembling under her cold tone. I created it to save my life. It was meant to be my guardian, my strength. It was never meant to speak, never meant to feel. But it does feel, Evan said. And that's why it's dying. The Empress' eyes narrowed. Explain. Evan took a breath. Human DNA needs emotional connection. It needs a bond. Without one, the body breaks down from stress. Your creature has been alone its whole life. No emotional link to anyone. That's why it's collapsing. The Empress looked away sharply. I gave it everything. A home, power, protection. But not a bond, Evan said gently. Not a real one. Her face tightened with something he had not expected pain. I do not bond, she whispered. A ruler cannot. Evan pointed to the creature. Then it needs someone who can. Silenced. Evan realized she already knew what he was suggesting. Her voice turned cold again. You think you can heal it? Not heal, Evan corrected. But I can connect with it. That might stabilize its human side. The Empress stood tall again, her expression unreadable. Then do it, she said. Evan blinked. What? You heard me, she replied. If you die trying, it will be a problem solved. If you succeed, she hesitated. Perhaps my creature will live, Evan looked down at the creature. Its soft blue eyes were fixed on him, full of hope and fear. He gently touched its head. "All right," he whispered. "I'll try." The creature breathed a small sigh of relief. But the Empress was already turning toward the door. "Prepare yourself, human," she said, "for what comes next may break you." And as the door closed behind her, Evan felt the weight of her warning. He did not know that the bond he was about to form would change not just the creature, not just the Empress, but the entire empire itself. The ancient lab of the Aurelian Palace had not been opened in many years. Dust floated in the blue light as guards pulled away the heavy metal doors. Strange machines hummed awake, glowing with symbols no one fully understood anymore. Evan stepped inside slowly, the creature held gently in his arms. Its glow flickered like a candle fighting against wind. Behind him, the Empress walked with steady, silent steps. Her cloak brushed the floor as she observed the machines with cold, hidden fear. "This place," Evan whispered. "It feels like it hasn't been used in centuries." "It hasn't," the Empress replied. "It was created during the Old War. The machines were built for experiments that are not allowed anymore." Evan looked at her. "Because of humans?" Her jaw tightened. "Because of mistakes." The creature whimpered softly, and Evan hurried to place it on the glowing circle in the center of the lab. The machines reacted instantly. Energy screens lit up, showing strange graphs and shapes. Evan stared at them in confusion. "I can't read any of this." "You will learn," the Empress said. "If you want to survive." A moment of silence passed. Evan placed his hand on the creature's paw. The second he touched it, the graphs on the screen steadied. The Empress noticed. "Again," she whispered. "It reacts to you." Evan nodded slowly. "I told you. It needs a bond." The Empress folded her arms. "Explain this bond." Evan tried to find simple words. When humans are alone for too long, their mind weakens. Their heart weakens. Your creature has human parts inside it. If it has no emotional link to anyone, its human side collapses. That's why it's dying. The Empress stared at the creature for a long time. "So you are saying," she said quietly, "that this entire time I have been giving it power, protection, and care, but not what it actually needed?" Evan looked at her. "Sometimes the strongest people forget something simple." Her voice turned sharp. "And what is that?" "That even powerful beings need connection." The Empress turned away, hiding her expression. The lab lights dimmed. The machines released a soft sound as a glowing circle formed around Evan and the creature. "What's happening?" Evan asked. "The ritual has begun," the Empress replied. "It will test you. It will test the creature. If your bond is real, it will stabilize. If it is weak—" She paused. "Then both of you may die." Evan stared at her. "You didn't mention that part." "You did not ask," she said calmly. Evan glared at her. "That's not how warnings work." Before the Empress could answer, the creature let out a loud cry. Evan immediately kneeled beside it, placing both hands on its fur. "It's okay. I'm here," he whispered. The machines absorbed his words like sound waves. Lights blinked. Energy tightened around them. The Empress watched carefully. Her face was unreadable, but her eyes were fixed on the creature. Suddenly, alarms blared through the lab. The Empress spun around. "What now?" A guard rushed in, bowing deeply. "Empress, the High Council has arrived without notice. They demand entry to the palace." The Empress' eyes narrowed. "They should not be here." "They claim they heard rumors," the guard whispered. "Rumors of a human inside the palace." Evan felt his heart skip. The Empress said nothing for a moment. Then she spoke with quiet anger. "Delay them. Tell them I am in a meeting." Do not let them near the creature's chamber. Yes, Empress. The guard hurried out. Evan watched her. You're scared, he said before thinking. The Empress turned sharply. I am not. Yes, you are, Evan said. Those people? If they find out what this creature is, they will destroy it, she finished, and then kill me. Evan stared. But you're the Empress. Her voice dropped low. Even rulers have enemies. Suddenly, the lab's energy surged. The glowing circle brightened, rising into the air like a shield. The creature trembled violently. Stay with me, Evan said. Gripping its paw Dot, the creature's eyes opened bright, glowing. Afraid Dot then, Evan felt it. A pulse, like a heartbeat shared between them. The Empress took a step back. It has begun, she whispered. Evan gasped as a wave of energy crashed into him, pushing him onto one knee. He felt flashes of emotion, fear, loneliness, longing. There its feelings. Evan breathed. It's showing them to me. The Empress watched with wide eyes. A connection. Evan held on tightly. Empress. This creature has been alone its entire life. It never had anyone. Not one emotional bond. Not one friend. The Empress looked away. I gave it everything. Food, shelter, power. But not someone, Evan said softly. The creature cried again, gripping his hand with its weak claws. The Empress' voice trembled. Can you save it? Evan nodded. I think the bond is working. But just then a loud explosion shook the palace. The Empress spun around, fury flashing in her eyes. Guards. A soldier ran in, blood on his armor. Empress, the council is attacking. They want the creature dead. Evan's eyes widened. Why? The guard gasped. They say the creature is a mistake, a threat to the throne. And if you defend it, Empress, you will fall with it. The Empress' expression turned deadly. Let them come, she whispered. They will learn what real fear is. Evan looked down at the creature. The bond was forming. But danger was closing in fast. And now the entire empire was ready to kill them all. The lab shook again. Dust rained from the ceiling as shouts echoed through the palace halls. The High Council's soldiers were storming the corridors, searching for the forbidden creature they wanted destroyed. Evan tightened his grip on the creature's paw. Its body trembled beneath the glowing lights of the ritual circle. Just hold on, he whispered. I'm right here. The Empress stood between the lab door and the ritual chamber, her eyes like cold silver fire. No one enters this room, she growled. Outside, she could hear the clash of weapons. Her loyal guards fought desperately to keep the council away. But she knew the truth, her guards were few. And the council had planned this attack for a long time. They didn't want her. Creature gone. They wanted her gone. The creature's breathing grew faster, almost panicked. Evan felt a sharp pain in his chest, as if fear shot directly into his heart. Empress! Evan shouted. It's getting worse. What do I do? She turned sharply. Do not break the bond. If you pull away now, its human side will collapse. Then help me. Evan begged. I cannot. She snapped. Only you can complete it. Another explosion rocked the palace. This time the lights flickered. The ritual circle pulsed violently, and Evan felt a sudden rush of emotion, fear, so deep it nearly crushed him. He gasped and fell forward, hands shaking. The bond is flooding him, the Empress whispered. Its emotions are too strong. Evan gritted his teeth. I can handle it. But it didn't feel like he could. He felt the creature's loneliness. Its years of silence. Its memories of shadows and cold. Nights. Its terrifying fear of dying. Tears burned in Evan's eyes. How could anyone leave you alone like this? He whispered to the creature. The Empress froze at his words. She opened her mouth, but before she could answer, the lab doors shook violently. Dot boom dot boom dot boom dot. A deep voice shouted from the other side. Open the door, Empress, or we will tear it down. The Empress clenched her jaw. They dare threaten me. Evan struggled to stay conscious as another wave of emotion hit him. Empress, if they break in now, they'll kill it. And me. She turned back to him. For the first time, real fear flickered in her eyes, not fear for herself, but for the creature. And maybe a little for Evan, too. I will protect you both, she said. But the words sounded uncertain, and she hated that Dot the creature suddenly let out a high, painful cry. The ritual circle blazed with light. Evan screamed, clutching his chest. It hurts. What's happening? The Empress stepped forward quickly. It is pulling you into its energy mind. You must stay with it. If you pull away, the ritual collapses. I'm trying. Evan gasped. But it's too much. The creature pressed its forehead against his hand. Shaking violently, its eyes pleaded with him. It didn't want to die. It didn't want to be alone. A deep pounding hit Evans. Mind images flashing so fast that he cried out. Dark runes, cold metal. Cage's experiments, loneliness. So heavy it felt like drowning, and finally, the Empress face, stern, distant, unreachable. Oh God, Evan whispered. It was suffering all this time. He reached forward and gently touched the creature's cheek. You're not alone anymore, he whispered. I'm right here. I'm staying. The creature's glow brightened. The Empress stared, her breath caught. No bond has ever formed this fast. Another crash sounded at the lab door, louder this time. Pieces of metal bent inward. The High Council soldiers were breaking through. The Empress cursed under her breath. They will storm in within minutes. She stepped closer to Evan. You must finish the bond now. Hurry, I'm trying. Evan shouted. But I don't know how. The Empress knelt beside him, something she had never done for anyone. Listen, she said in a low voice. My creature is part human. To bond with it, give it what humans give each other. Evan stared at her through shaking breaths. And what is that? The Empress hesitated. Then she whispered the one word she had always feared. Comfort. Evan nodded, tears still on his cheeks. He placed both hands around the creature gently, as if hugging it. You're safe, he whispered. They won't hurt you. I promise. The creature let out a soft, desperate breath and pushed its head into his chest. A bright flash erupted. The machine screamed with energy. Symbols changed rapidly. The creature's glow exploded outward, filling the room with golden blue. Light. The Empress shielded her eyes. Evan cried out, then suddenly gasped as the pain vanished. Creature breathed calmly. Its heartbeat steadied. Its glow returned, stronger than ever. The bond was complete. The creature opened its eyes. Bright, clear, alive. It spoke in a quiet, human-like voice. Evan. The Empress froze. It had formed a full emotional connection. But before she could react, the lab doors finally burst open. The High Council soldiers stormed in. Their weapons were raised. Empress! Their leader shouted. Step away from the abomination. The Empress stood slowly. Her cloak fell around her like dark fire. Her eyes turned deadly. Come closer, she whispered, and see what happens. Night fell over the Empress's palace like a heavy blanket. The glowing towers dimmed. The guards switched to night vision helmets, and the strange cold wind of the planet Zathara passed through the crystal halls. But inside the private healing chamber, everything was silent, except for the steady beeping of the life support machine attached to Saren. Eli sat right beside him, elbows on his knees, eyes locked on the creature's face. Saren's chest rose slowly, painfully, then fell again. The liquid in the chamber glowed weakly, showing how close he was to shutting down forever. Eli didn't sleep, didn't eat, didn't move unless needed. He was not allowed to touch any machines anymore after the Empress's warning. But he still watched Saren like a guardian. When the door slid open, Eli expected a guard. Instead, the Empress walked in alone. Her dress was dark blue, glowing with a soft pulse. Her expression was calm, but her eyes carried storms. "You are still here," she said quietly. Eli nodded. "I'm not leaving him." The Empress stepped closer, studying Saren's weakening body. "My creature should have died days ago. Only you kept him alive this long." Eli didn't look away. "He trusted me, and I trust him." The Empress's jaw tightened, not with anger, but with something else. Something Eli didn't understand yet. After a long moment, she whispered, "Human, I need your help." Eli froze. The Empress? Asking him for help? "What do you mean?" She looked at him with a tired, almost painful honesty. "There is something I have not told you," she said. "Saren is not only my creature. He is the last of a sacred line that protects my throne. Without him, I will lose more than power. I will lose my people." Eli frowned. "Then why stop me from helping him?" "Because your touch changed him," she replied. "You healed him with something we do not understand. Something dangerous. Something impossible." Eli blinked. "It wasn't dangerous. His energy just responded to mine. I wasn't trying to hurt him." The Empress looked at him, really looked, and her voice softened. "I know you meant no harm. But what you did has never happened in our history. Human energy and Zathern energy do not mix." She leaned closer to Saren's chamber, but in Saren, they merged. Eli swallowed. "Is that bad?" "It is unknown," she said. "And unknown things can destroy empires." Eli's heart tightened. He wasn't afraid for himself. He was afraid they would hurt Saren out of fear. As if reading his thoughts. The Empress continued, "I did not bring the council here to execute you. I brought them because they fear what Saren is becoming." Eli stepped forward. "Becoming what?" The Empress whispered. "More than a creature. Something new. Something powerful." A cold shiver ran through Eli. And Saren's monitor suddenly beeped faster. The liquid inside the chamber began to swirl. The Empress gasped. "He is waking." Eli rushed the glass. "Saren? Hey, can you hear me?" The chamber flickered with blue light. Saren's eyes snapped open, glowing brighter than ever before. The machines trembled. The crystal walls vibrate. The Empress took 2 steps back, shocked. "This energy? This is impossible." Saren's voice echoed inside Eli's mind, the way it had before, but stronger and clearer. "Eli, help me." Eli placed his hand on the glass. Instantly, the swirling energy calmed. The Empress stared in disbelief. "You control his power." "No, he responds only to you." Saren's hand pressed weakly against the other side of the glass, matching Eli's position. Eli whispered, "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." The machine steadied. The shaking stopped. Saren slowly sank back into the liquid, breathing more evenly. Eli let out a deep breath, but the Empress did not relax. She turned her head sharply toward the door, because outside, heavy metallic footsteps echoed in the hall. More than 1 dozens. Eli felt a chill crawl up his spine. "What's happening?" The Empress answered without looking at him. "The council knows Saren awakened. They believe he is unstable. They believe your connection to him is a threat." Eli stepped protectively between Saren's chamber and the door. "They want to kill him, don't they?" The Empress closed her eyes. Yes. Eli's heart pounded like thunder. Will you let them? He asked. The Empress opened her eyes, and for the first time since he met her, she looked unsure, even afraid. I do not want to, she said slowly. But if they order it, I must obey. I am Empress, but the Council holds the right to judge threats to our race. The footsteps grew louder. Closer. Eli clenched his fists. I'm not letting them take him. The Empress studied him, her voice suddenly low. Then you must be ready to do something very dangerous. What? Eli demanded. She stepped toward him, her face inches from his. Disobey the entire empire. And escape with Saren. Eli's breath caught. Escape? With a dying creature? Through an alien palace filled with guards? That's suicide. Maybe, she whispered. But it is the only chance he has. The chamber lights flickered again. The door behind them hissed. The Council's guards were seconds away. Eli looked at Saren. Pale, weak, but alive because of him. He made his choice. Tell me what to do, he said. The Empress nodded. Slowly, and then the doors slammed open. Heavy, armored guards filled the entrance. Step away from the chamber. The commander ordered. Eli and the Empress exchanged one final look. The chamber doors burst open, and a wave of armored guards flooded the room. Their weapons glowed with bright red energy, all pointed directly at the healing chamber where Saren floated. The sound of metal boots hitting the crystal floor echoed like thunder. Step away from the creature. The commander barked. His armor was black, his visor flashing with red lines. His soldiers moved with perfect discipline. Eli stood in front of the chamber, refusing to move even one step. The Empress lifted her hand. Wait, lower your weapons. But the commander didn't obey. By order of the High Council, this creature must be destroyed immediately. Its energy is unstable. Eli stepped forward. He is not a threat. The commander ignored him. Begin the purge. The guards raised their weapons higher. The Empress's voice turned sharp. I said stop. But this time, they still didn't obey. Eli understood. The Council wasn't just afraid. They were taking control. Even the Empress couldn't stop them now. The commander pressed a button on his wrist. Saren's chamber beeped loudly. The liquid inside started draining. Double quotes, no dash, no. Eli shouted. He ran to the chamber, but a guard grabbed his arm and slammed him to the ground. Before Eli could react, something powerful surged inside the chamber. Blue light exploded, so bright even the guards shielded their eyes. When the light faded, Saren was no longer floating. He was standing. The glass around the chamber cracked loudly. The Empress whispered, shocked. He awakened fully? Saren's eyes glowed with a deep, powerful blue much brighter than before. His body, once weak, looked strong again. Energy moved around him like glowing threads. But his voice came directly into Eli's mind. Eli, they want to kill me. Eli's chest tightened. I won't let them. The commander shouted, fire! Dozens of red beams shot toward Saren, but the beams curved before reaching him, bending like metal pulled by a magnet. They swirled around him harmlessly. The guards panicked. Impossible, he deflected Council weapons. Saren didn't attack. He didn't move. He only turned his head toward Eli. Your energy keeps me calm. Stay close. Eli nodded, stepping beside him. The Empress saw something no one in her empire had ever seen. A human and a sacred creature standing in perfect unity. The commander growled, take them both. Guards charged forward. Saren lifted his hand. A wave of blue energy blasted outward, not to destroy, but to push the guards away like wind. They slammed into the walls, unconscious but alive. Eli stared at Saren, amazed. You can control it? Saren looked down at his glowing hands. Only because you are here. The Empress stepped closer, her voice trembling. You must escape. Now, the Council will send stronger forces. Eli didn't waste time. How do we get out? There's a hidden transport tunnel behind this chamber, she said. Only the royal family knows of it. Saren looked at the Empress. You help us, even though the Council will punish you. The Empress gave a sad smile. I am not afraid of punishment. I am afraid of losing both of you. Alarms suddenly blasted through the palace. A robotic voice echoed, warning. Elite Council squad approaching. Lethal force authorized. Eli felt a chill. We need to move now. The Empress rushed to the back wall and pressed her palm to a glowing panel. A hidden door slid open, revealing a dark tunnel. Go, she said. I will delay the Council. Eli hesitated. What about you? She smiled gently. I am Empress. I will survive. Saren pressed his forehead gently to hers, a gesture of deep respect. Thank you for giving me a chance to live. The Empress closed her eyes. Protect the human. He risks everything for you. Saren nodded and took Eli's arm. Together, they ran into the tunnel. The hidden passage was narrow, lit only by soft blue stripes. Their footsteps echoed as alarms rang behind them. Eli panted. Where does this lead? Saren answered in his mind, to the outskirts. There is an old launch station. We can escape the planet. Eli forced a smile. Good. Let's get off this crazy world. But Saren suddenly stopped. Eli turned. What's wrong? Saren's eyes dimmed slightly. His voice grew weak. Eli? The energy inside me. It's growing too fast. I can't hold it back much longer. Eli grabbed his shoulders. You can. Just stay with me? Saren shook his head slowly. If I lose control, I could destroy everything around me. Eli didn't let go. Listen to me. You're stronger than you think. You survived death. You fought the Council's weapons. You protected me. His voice cracked. You are not alone. You have me. Saren stared at him. The glowing lines around his body began to stabilize. Yes, he whispered in Eli's mind. With you, I can control it. The tunnel lights flickered. Explosions echoed from behind. The Council was breaking through the chamber. Eli took a deep breath. Then let's run. Together, they sprinted through the passage and reached a massive hidden hangar. Rusted ships rested under dim lights. Saren pointed to a small shuttle. That one still works. Eli jumped inside and began pressing buttons. Please don't explode. The engines hummed weak, but alive. Saren stepped in behind him as the hangar doors shook. Boom. They were out of time. Eli hit the launch button. The shuttle blasted upward, breaking through the ceiling and shooting into the alien sky. Below, the palace shrank. The alarms faded. The planet glowed like a giant blue jewel. Eli leaned back, breath shaking. We did it. We actually did it. Saren looked at him with soft eyes, glowing faintly. Eli, you didn't save just my life. Eli turned toward him. What do you mean? Saren smiled gently. You changed what my kind can become. Eli smiled back, tired but hopeful. Then we'll figure out the rest. Together. The shuttle vanished into the stars, leaving behind an empire that would never be the same again.